You're gonna put your game on YouTube right now? Very cool. This is a question I have. I've kind of always had. I've never used a console to live stream. Does it automatically save on your like Kick account if you link it? I do. In a given day, or not a given day, at a given moment when checking how many people are streaming on Kick total, how many do you think it is? Like right now, do you think it's 50,000 people individually streaming? On, just on Kick. Right, exactly. It's 700. So it's like not like it's that big that you can't get discovered. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. Um, if you go wait. Actually, I misspoke. It's 700 and just chatting. But just chatting is by maybe it's 1,000 total. There aren't that many other people. Just chatting is their bread and butter. But I don't want you to think it's 50,000 people that you have to be found in. Basically, what I'm saying to you, this is my advice. You have a great face. You have a great personality. You're already streaming. If you kick on that cam and just fucking do the shit that you do in your life, then you'll be one of those people who will be recognized as one of the top 1,000 very, very quickly. And then you get over that point of recognition with people and they follow you and they you know what I mean? All I'm saying is for you, it's really important, I think, to get over the point of recognition. That's beautiful. Absolutely. That's what I love to hear, man. And the cool thing is, all the cool stuff that you're doing on Xbox and everything, or PlayStation, I should say, you can still do. Just stream it at the same time. Like basically, I know it sucks because you want it to be like perfect, but it's like no, all you have to do is just make yourself a rememberable person. And I know I go back to this, but like let's think when you had that bot going, like I'm not saying use the bot now. I mean you can, not hard, but there was a point in your life where I saw you peak. I mean, I don't know, not in, where I have seen you, where had everything going. You were live streaming, you were talking to people in chat, and it was like 1 or 2 days, and then things weren't able to be as tight as you wanted. But I want you to get back. Well, I've never seen you as happy as you would be because you were like, oh, I'm figuring out challenges, and you had the vertical camera going. Like you had shit that nobody's really seen before, at least on. I got you. I got you. One thing you can do that does boost a little if you're allowed to. I don't know if it's something you can do. Two things that are pretty simple. One, wherever the router is, there are all these cops out here. Okay. Well, choppy doesn't matter. You know why? Because in the future they'll be able to fix everything. Don't get so hung up on the perfection of the stream. You know what I mean? Don't get so caught up on the perfection of the stream. It's the fact that you're there and people know who you are, and you can be like, "Look, guys, throw me a couple subs, and I'll be able to get better internet." You know, whatever you want to do when it comes to that. But at least your internet is reliable enough that I don't have to worry. Like, hey, let's play a game. No, I don't want to play with Caspian Sea because I know he's going to be cut out like a whole bunch. Like, I've lived that life. It sucks dick, man. And you're at a point where you've got the internet, you've got the personality, you've got the equipment, and all the shit that you normally do in your life, you should just fucking stream. I mean, from your room. I understand you got to go to work and shit like that, and you don't have to stream that. But then at least, and then you have something to really look forward to when you come home. You're like, oh, you might even get a couple girls in there. You get people in your Discord. Most of all, though, you just have to get people to remember your face. And the way that you do that, you have a really great avatar for it. And the I've said it before. Exactly. I would if I had to change your avatar at all. I think the picture and everything is fine. Is great. I would just put a circle around it like mine that says Caspian Sea and your link tree. That way, every time somebody looks at your thing, they're gonna go to your link tree, or they can't. They know that you have one. It's like a fake out. I get you. You can do that. I've seen one other person do that on Kick, and I've seen that done a lot on Twitter though. Yeah, with the red around it. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, good. You'll be a part of that community, and you'll see it's growing very, very quickly. I mean, I've been on it now every day 6 months, and I can tell you it's about doubled, particularly with other languages, like especially Spanish. Spanish is like 50% of the site now, which is great. I mean, I don't speak Spanish, but it's more and more people. I speak a little Spanish, but not enough to be able to enjoy watching these streams. But nevertheless, it's positive to have more people there. Here's another interesting thing. The people who used to be, I was noticing this last night. The people who were always at the top, like, well, normally, I always use her as my like gauge, Amaranth, because during the day, she's always at the top. But then when a lot of people stream, she's like number 10, 15. And that tells you that they've got a lot going on. When that girl is number 10 or 15 and she's trying to get viewers, she's playing video games and shit, and she can't compare. That's fucking, I feel like that's a very good sign for the platform that shows like, hey, we've got a lot of content here and some new people. I think I told you this, but you know Hawk 2 is on it now, right? Hawk 2, Haley Welch has a an exclusive streaming deal with Kick. Yeah, dude, she got paid. I think eight figures, maybe. Anyway, she did her first stream on Saturday or something, and I watched it, and I spammed the shit out of her clips. I'm like, so I wasn't the first clip she ever had, but I was in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, all that shit. And she just it's not anything super exciting. She's just kind of you can tell she's overwhelmed by a lot of it. And um, but like that's just a sign that you should see like, oh, Twitch and YouTube are kind of going on the wayside because they're not signing these people. Word. And Kick just keeps growing. Policies. They were more lenient. Right. I'm an advocate and Yeah, no, he was driving like a fool. His passenger got hurt, and he very much could have killed the other people on the road. Do I think he should be banned forever? No. Honestly, I don't think anybody should be banned forever. It should just be that 1 year they have to reevaluate, and if they want to keep it going, they can. It's almost like a parole hearing, but I, and if he wants to do that, then he'll get, if he wants to do that, then he'll get banned again, and you get banned for the whole year or whatever. But just because you were, I don't know how old he is, 21, and you did some stupid shit when you're 35, you think that you should, like that, like we don't punish people that badly in the criminal justice system, yet in the cyber world we do. I don't understand that. Like basically you can easily get lifetime punishments, lifetime bans from a litany of different platforms. That's fine, but you can't do that in the criminal justice system, obviously. And frankly, that's more serious shit. Like what this? I'm not saying what Jack Doherty didn't. That's a whole. They should have arrested Jack Doherty for a DUI. He's driving under the influence of fucking. I mean, I don't know. They should have drug tested him. I don't understand what the fuck they were doing, but I think they saw what everybody sees. This guy's got a fucking McLaren right now. He obviously has the money to pay his way out of this. I'm not gonna make it a big deal. Whatever. He wasn't even fucking cited. And I'm surprised that like back in the day, people would have called in and been like, "Hey," to the fucking police, like, "Hey, you need to do something about this." But nowadays, there used to be like people who would, I don't know, they were like, I hate to say it, but they were like um, very traditional conservative people who used to stand up when people would do stupid shit or a platform would do stupid shit and they'd send in letters and shit. All that is killed. But it used to be, if kids, if you're wondering, why the fuck did society degrade so quickly, et cetera, et cetera, they really, especially media, stopped paying attention to the public. Once they got purchased by these multinational conglomerates, they no longer had to worry about letter writing campaigns. Back when it was a fucking mom and pop shop based out of New York City or Los Angeles, or you had these television stations were franchised, um, they had to pay attention a little bit more. But now it doesn't matter. If you don't like it, go watch something else. And guess what? They own that too. Has Music Biz Marty ever lost his account? Yeah, that's what I mean. Because he does, in my opinion, he does a lot of he says some controversial stuff. I mean, does some controversial stuff. I get right. Is he still with that girl? Wow, that guy. Who's Anaconda? Who's Anaconda Sins? Welcome, welcome. How are you? Big dog? What's good? Hope you're living the dream. What, how's life in your neck of the woods? We're happy you're here, Darren. Welcome. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Do you know who I am, Darren? I'm Rabbi Rothschild. Do you know my story? Oh, yeah, and I show speed? Amazing. Well, I want you to know that I stream my life 24/7, 365 for world peace. I don't want war anymore. I've been live streaming on YouTube 24/7 for more than 3 years. This is more data than any person has ever uploaded to the internet in global history. It's extremely exciting what we talk about. Things like anti gravity, antimatter, faster than light travel, mind uploading, data harvesting. We talk about life extension technology, dark energy. We talk about dark matter. We talk about geothermal energy. We talk about nuclear energy. We talk about fission energy, fusion energy. You name it, we talk about it. We talk about alien disclosure. We talk about some really exciting things. And I want you to know, Darren Watkins, I'm glad that you're here. Welcome. We're, we're listening to. Go ahead. I appreciate it. Uh, yeah, dog. I'm based out of California. I'm based out of Los Angeles area. If you know where Irvine is, where we stream kinds of interesting stuff. We're watching a 35-part series on the history of China. I really like China and I'm fascinated with it. So we're watching that and we're streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Discord, Telegram, you name it, we're streaming on it. So enjoy yourself. I'm always live, so feel free to like chill or if you have something to do, go do it, but come back when you have time. We love having you here. Excellent. Well, here's the thing. When you're bored, come back to this Discord and we'll say hi, okay? And we'll become friends. Excellent, Darren. I look forward to being your friend. Absolutely. I'm live in his Discord right now. I'm going to blow up, Darren. I'm going to go viral. And when we do, we're going to make sure all of your hopes and dreams get taken care of. We're going to take care of your friends and family. We're going to make them wealthier than they ever imagined so that they can start charities to help other people. Dope as shit, man. Okay, go to Speed Server, man. Absolutely. Come back here whenever you have time, okay? And we'll say hi. Peace, Darren. Take care, buddy. Pleasure to meet you. Shout out to Darren. Be right back. I'm going to use the restroom.
Secondary status takes on even greater expression. There are legal changes. The emergence of the practice of foot binding is a physical marker of the restraint of women. But women are excluded from the exams, and that, of course, takes out half the population to begin with. The second most significant group, numerically speaking, is merchants. If you make your living as a merchant, if you make your living by buying and selling things, if that's how you are registered in the population registries, you, your sons, your grandsons are all banned from taking the examinations. This has to do with the Confucian value system, which assigns a degree of sort of social utility to different kinds of people. The sure, the gentlemen, are at the top of the hierarchy because they manage the affairs of society. Their social utility is at the most. It's at the maximum. Farmers, peasants are the next group because they produce the food which everyone needs to survive. Artisans, handicraft workers are next because while they don't produce food, they make things that are of use to everybody. Merchants are at the bottom because they don't produce anything themselves. They don't grow food. They don't make objects of utility. What they do is take things that other people have produced, move them around, and enrich themselves in the process. So they're seen in the Confucian system as being in a sort of socially parasitic role. They do perform a social function, but it's one which is tainted. It's morally less acceptable because they enrich themselves from the production of others. So merchants are excluded from taking the examinations, merchants and their descendants. And then there's some other minor groups similar to ones we've mentioned earlier: actors, people who work with dead bodies, leather workers for various reasons. But these are relatively small groups of people. The great majority of Chinese are eligible to take the exams. But in practice, to have the kind of education, to have the kind of knowledge, to even get in the door at the examination compound requires the devotion of time and mental energy and resources, which most Chinese simply cannot afford. Peasant families, artisan families who need all the labor power at their disposal simply to survive, simply to generate enough income to feed themselves and house themselves and clothe themselves from year to year. They can't afford to take a son and say, just go sit and study. That's fine. The rest of us will do the work. That's just not viable for most families. Only this top 5 or 6% of society has the resources to allow a son or more than one son to study sufficiently to have a chance to pass the exams. Okay, so legally, it's a very open system. The vast majority, probably 85-90% of the Chinese people the male Chinese population could take part in the exams, but in practice, the practical bar to getting into the examination system is very, very high, and only a very small proportion of the population can really take part in this. Now, the examination culture, one of the exams tests what goes on in the examination culture. This has to do with sort of an extension of the Confucian revival that we saw under Hanyu. The exams test the candidate's mastery of a body of Confucian writing, historical texts, classical literature. You need to be able to cite texts from memory. You need to be able to apply those texts to questions of government or administration. You also need to be able to compose poetry. You need to be able to write in an elegant literary style. All these things come into play. They're all part of the qualifications that the examination system is designed to test. Now, the centrality of this, what John Chafee has called the examination culture, the centrality of this to Chinese civilization in the Song and from the Song on for the next 1,000 years, it's hard to overstate it. This becomes the most critical cultural enterprise that educated Chinese participate in. Because it's so central, because it's so important, it engenders a kind of identity crisis, and it leads Chinese intellectuals, particularly in the course of the 11th century, to question their place in society, their role in the world, what they should do with the power which the examination system has brought to them. And we'll look at some of